Hey guys, so today we're going to be talking about burmation. Last week, the part 1, I did what is burmation for bearded dragons. I will definitely link that down below. And I will link my breeding video down below because that kind of goes along with this. That was from a while back. But today our topic is going to be Dorito's burmation process this year. So like 2020 and 2021. So like fall and winter of 2020, because that's usually when they would go into burmation. And as you can see, it's breeding season now. I'm filming this video, so he's kind of wild trying to find a mate. So I don't think he's going to stay very much, as you can see. But I do want to say Happy Easter. That was last week, and so hope everyone had an awesome spring break whenever it was. And Happy Easter. I'm going to pick up Dorito one more time, and then if he doesn't stay, I will let him go. Sorry for my dog. She's like she always wants in my room, so she'll bark to get in. I usually let her in, but when Dorito's out, she can't. Lady, shush. She can't like be out because she'll eat them because she's a dachshund. But so what I'm gonna do is just get right into this video. So Dorito's burmation process. So we're gonna just go like month by month. So in September, I'm just going to let them run. So in September, it was about, here it's about maybe in the 60s, not at least in the low 70s, but in the 60s. And then it's in like the low, maybe the high 50s. So it's getting fall time, it's getting like that. But it's at least in the 60s, high 50s. So right now it is April, because it's Easter, and it's about the same temperature, maybe a little hotter because it's being in the high 70s, almost 80s, but it's about the same temperature except there's a lot more wind where there's a lot more rain right now. So in the fall time we get more wind, and then in the springtime we get more rain. So it's a little chillier depending on the wind, but in my room, because that's outside temperature, in my room it's about 70 degrees, 65, it's usually 65 to 70 degrees. So, where'd you go? I don't want him going off my bed while I'm filming. But, it's about that, and it's in his cage, it's about 90 to 100, it's about like 98 to 105 degrees. So, that's about the temperature range for September, and so that's basically that. So his behaviorals, his like mood for September, I would say he was getting slower. That's just what happened to him. So as you can see right now, he will not, like, he'll let me hold him obviously, but he just wants to run around. He wants to go explore basically and go find female to mate with. But in the winter, he's actually calmer now, but in the winter what he'll do is he'll usually just sit on my shoulder. So he'll mainly just lay on my shoulder, like if I'm laying down and holding him, he'll lay on my chest instead of, as you can see right now, he's trying to go explore. So he was kind of slowing down more. He would still walk around my room, but he wasn't. And if you don't know, Dorito didn't go into full burmation. He only went into half burmation, but I'm going to get more into that later. So that's basically it for September. He might, can't remember because that was a long time ago, but he might have slowed down moving a little bit in his cage, but he still moved like a lot. He like went from his cool area when he wanted to cool off, and went from his basking area when he wanted to go get warmer and bask. So that's it for September. I would say September, and it's gonna vary for each location. So I live in Virginia, so it's like very hot. It's a southern state, so it's not cold like Maine or New York or any of those northern states. So in those northern states in September, you might see definitely a slower movement pace. So they might get slower. They might even start not to eat as much because but their body might react more to it because it's slower. But for Dorito personally, like I said, he just had kind of a slower movement pace, but he still was out there doing his own thing. So let's see, September, June, July, September, October. Yeah, so October's next. So October, it was Halloween, obviously. I can't remember, so Halloween, I think he was eating fine. He definitely was still slowing down even more. What he did is I did like a little hut video, I'll link down below, but he was just staying on his basking. So at nighttime, that's the only time he would really go to his cool hide, because his basking hide has like this little hut you can go into. So instead of moving to his cool side, he would just go under that, just because I don't think he wanted to move as much. So he would just go under that to get cooler and then come back out. He wanted hot instead of going over to his cool side like he does now. He wouldn't poop as much. I think this is when he slowed down pooping. So now he's actually getting his normal pooping back. He didn't have anything wrong with him. He was perfectly fine. But in the winter, they typically can slow down their poop just because, just like any animal that goes into burmation or hibernation. I forgot to actually explain what burmation is. I'm sorry, but like I said, I do have that video. It's basically where bearded dragons just go into sleep. Their body is sleeping, but it's still technically moving and like stuff, but they're not moving. They're sleeping while their bodies. It's hard to explain, so that's why I'm going to link that video down below, which goes very much into detail about it. But so October, he would eat regularly, so I feed him. Back in October, I would say I feed him 3 times a week. Now I only feed him like 2 to 3 times a week, depending on how much he'll eat. But I fed him 3 times a week. I definitely fed him 3 times a week back then. So I would say he ate 3 times a week, but he didn't poop as much. So now he's getting back into that number. He's already pooped 2 times a week this week, which is actually really good, because he used to only poop 2 times or once a week, or he's almost 2 times a week, or no, once a week or every other week. Oh my goodness, buddy. I'm trying to reach him, but he keeps on moving. There we go. So that's for October. Like I said, all he really did was slow down. Just keep on slowing down. And then he still ate his greens. And then he ate his GB roaches, but he didn't poop as much. He only pooped once a week or every other week instead of pooping. He's pooped 2 times already this week. He's actually getting normal pooping. This is the first time I'm seeing him pooping normal again. The winter time, once or twice a week, or once or every other week for a bearded dragon is totally normal, but his like normal cycle for the summer, because he's more awake, he's eating more, he's just like not trying to store it up in case he goes into burmation. He's letting it out of him. So that's basically it. So September, October, November. So November was my birthday month, and I'm trying to think, did he really? I think he just slowed down more. He didn't really go into full burmation, so he went into half burmation, which is basically they slow down. They don't sleep. They don't like actually sleep and take time to rest and recuperate, however you say that word. I cannot say it, but like that. But he still ate. So I think it was late November, early December. He went through this like 3-week period where he would not eat his GB roaches at all. Like I tried offering to him. I'm sorry if I. Trying to hold Dorito because I don't want him getting off my bed because I have to watch him, and my lighting setup has like light cords and stuff. But like I was saying, he had like this 3-week period where he did not eat GB roaches at all, and I was kind of getting worried, but it wasn't like too bad. Like I wasn't getting I was nervous, but I wasn't going to take him to the vet yet, because I knew that some bearded dragons, well, when they go into burmation, they won't they will not eat, because you don't actually technically want to feed them, because then they'll get impacted and stuff. But if they go into full hibernation, that was my hair. But like I said, he just wouldn't eat for 3 weeks, and then so I decided off of the dbroaches.com, which I really highly recommend, which is where I get my DB roaches, superworms, and hornworms. I decided to get a couple hornworms because they're more softer than superworms. So I fed it because I looked it up, and so I was like trying to give him a variety, because I just thought, oh, maybe he's tired. So I gave him about that, and slowly he began to eat his GB roaches. So I don't know if it had him in, because they're very picky eaters. I don't know if it had to do with him being tired of what I was giving him, or he just needed a variety, or he was just saving up, and then he was like, oh, a treat, and then he got back. And he was like, oh, I'll take a treat. But still, I I still like gave it. Sorry, my mom texted me, but so I was like, yeah. So I gave him this, and maybe he would like, maybe since I gave him the treat, it's like, oh, I guess I can eat. So then he started eating Fighting Hen once every week or once every other week. He still didn't eat like 2 to 3 times a week like he does now. Maybe 2 times a week. I still offered it to him. He just wouldn't eat it. But he started pooping less. So, like I said, he was still pooping once or twice a week. I fed him I tried to give him 2 times a week, 2 to 3 times a week, but he would only eat about 2 times a week. Now he eats 3 times a week back again. So that was really it for November. So for November, I'm trying to do like a summary. He was pooping the same as October, so once or twice, or once, I keep on saying twice a week, once or every other week. His eating was 2 times a week, and then he did at the end not eat for about 3 weeks, which means he didn't poop for about 3 weeks, and I kept on giving him baths and everything, but that's basically it. He was just kind of slowing down. Then in December, where'd he go? Oh. Is he pooping? I don't know if Dorito just pooped or not, but I'll have to clean that up later. So December, same thing. I'm not going to go too much detail. Same thing. I did give him some super worms. And if they're in full burmation, I would not recommend that at all. And honestly, I kind of wish I hadn't, but he still passed through his system. It was just a little harder since he was in burmation. So next time I might stick to hornworms because I got that for a treat for his Christmas. Then January and February in the southern states are usually our coldest months. And in the first year, since 2018, we had not gotten snow, like a big snow. This year we got a really scary snowstorm. It was ice. It froze. It hurt a lot of cattle and farm animals because I live like in the country. We personally live in a neighborhood, so we don't have a farm, although I wish we did. I would love my cousins to have a farm. This summer I'm actually going to it, and so I have a farm up in Richmond, but besides the point, we have a lot of cattle, and my friends, where is he going? No. They had my friends. I've seen a lot of things on like social media. So it was just a scary time. And for us, it wasn't that hard, but we did lose power, and I did a video about this for 3 days. So that kind of didn't really help his burmation system because he was having lights, and that was keeping him more active. But at the same time, I think it helped because he kind of got to rest. So if they go into full burmation, you do most of the time want to turn off their lights because that enacts them, like replicates them being a cave in the wild. But he was just not tired enough because he would still eat, so then I would have to bask him. So he was just not tired enough for me to do that, I felt like. So, but when our power went off, I didn't feed him for those 3 days because he couldn't. But we had my dad, because he goes camping and hiking, he had like a little fire furnace thing that you can just boil, and like it's electric, and it's kind of hard to explain, but it's just one of those things you bring camping and it works, and it's like solar, so it worked. And so we boiled some water on it, and then I put it in a big water bottle. This is on my travel necessities video, so I'll link that down below because that's just how I travel with him. He put it, and then I wrapped him up in it, and he basically just slept for those 3 days, and I think that helped. Because after that, which was, I think, back in February, maybe late January, early February, I can't exactly remember, but we did and so that kind of helped because it was really cold because we didn't have any power, and at the same time, our air conditioning broke because our power at one point kept on flipping on and off, which then like fried or like blew out our air conditioning and our heat system, so then we didn't have that for like a week. So my room was the same temperature as outside, which in the mornings could have been like 30 degrees, but in the afternoons maybe like 50 to 40 to 50s. So instead of being 70 in my room, it was 40 to 50s to even in the 30s. So he was just kind of, I think that was helping him go through the process, because in January he was just still moving slow, but then after February, whenever we had that ice storm, I can't exactly remember, it was either in January or February, and this is like 3 years, like our last snowstorm was back in 2018, So this was like cool, but it was very harmful to a lot of animals. And so, because we got snow, which we would never get, but it was just really bad. And so I think it helped him, honestly, but at the same point it was kind of scary because we had to keep him warm, which was very tricky, because we didn't want him, obviously, because they're cold-blooded animals. They changed out their temperature. We didn't want him getting too cold. So boiling that water did help, but I think in the long run it helped him go through burmation because he kind of went through it, processed it, and got out of it. So after that, which it's now April, so January, February, March, so let's say February, after that scenario, after the ice storm, he was getting back to his normal self. He was eating 2 to 3 times a week. He was starting to poop once or twice a week again. He wasn't pooping every other week. Now he's pooping like twice, 3 times a week. So he's getting back to normal. And so I would say late March, he was going into breeding season, which I do have a video on that. So I'm going to link that down below. But I'm going to run through it just a little bit. So in March, he started showing black beards, bobbing his head, scratching at the glass, being wild like he is now, which is kind of annoying because I'm trying to film a video. But I can't determine his behavior. So it's okay. We're going to roll with it. But that's really it for burmation. I do have a bunch. I'm going to link all the videos I think can help y'all down below because I do have quite a few that can help. Besides that, I think that's it for this video. Let me try to see if I track down Dorito. And so, yep. So please like this video if you would like. If you want to subscribe, I would love that. Any comments, please comment down below. And oh, don't go in my overalls. Besides that, Dorito, he just got off. I'm just trying to say bye, Dorito. Stay still for 1 minute, please. You want to say bye? Say bye.